appears you've all forgotten to do something very, very important. We all know what you're expecting, and yes, we will have mercy on this one occasion. A pale white face and deep black eyes, with rosy red cheeks and lips, and bold purple stripes descending from its eyes to the upper portion of its mouth. This puppet needs little to no introduction. First introduced in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, he soon became a considerable concern for each and every player. If you don't remember to keep him satisfied, he will not hesitate to remind you. Today, we will be bringing you the top 5 theories on the puppet, also known as the Marionette. Do remember to like this video if you enjoy, and also be sure to subscribe for more upcoming content. Now, on with the video.
Theory 5. The puppet is the child in the death minigame. In the minigame, Give Cake to Children, we are given the delightful task of delivering cake to 6 children, each one seeming to be in the midst of violent mood swings. What's more important is the 5th child located outside of the building's confinements. Fast forwarding on, a purple car pulls up, followed then by a purple man, approaching the child and then granting the child the undesired will of death. Interestingly, observing the now dead child's appearance, he has 2 striking lines proceeding down his face, much alike the puppet's. What's more interesting is the jump scare that then pursues. Strictly coincidental, or done with complete intention.
Theory 4. How does the puppet move through the establishment? A question many haven't asked. With the puppet seeming to not possess any feet, one might wonder how the exceptionally large puppet is able to support himself when standing. If we look back into the death minigames, however, we can see that it seemingly levitates to make its way around the various establishments. This helps to confirm the idea that a paranormal element may entwine itself within the story, and also may explain the corrupt mannerisms for the animatronics. On a side note, isn't it interesting how we can see the puppet's manipulator when it's still inside the box within the gift room, and once it stands upright, the strings are pulled up. We know this as the strings seemingly have no slack. Who's pulling these strings? Also, during the Marionette's death sequence, the puppet's manipulator seemingly becomes non-existent. Interesting.
Theory 3. The Marionette is in all of the games. Many may question how we are able to purge this statement with such confidence. Well, allow us to elaborate. We all know of the puppet's existence, particularly in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and so for this reason, he needs no introduction. Moving along to Five Nights at Freddy's 1, occasionally the player is able to experience what seemingly appears to be the face of a distraught crying child with 2 dominant tear streams going down his face. Interesting. What's more intriguing is the kitchen. Why can't we see in here? Could something be in here we are best kept away from? It doesn't take long to foresee multiple images of the puppet pasted onto the walls of the attraction. We are yet to see many of the rooms within Five Nights at Freddy's 3, but with the clear hinting to the new location having a knowledge of the puppet's existence, we can assume he will most certainly alert us of his existence one way or another. Now, how about the audio devices?
Theory 2. The Marionette is the cause of it all. To begin this theory, we find ourselves in the death minigame named Give Gifts, Give Life. We find ourselves in a box-like room surrounded by the corpses of 4 lifeless children. We are given the controllability of the puppet, and we have very clear and concise instructions we must follow. We first must give gifts to the children. As we float towards each child, we seemingly stuff each child into each of the establishment's suits. What comes after ensures us of the puppet's intentions. Before we continue, we must first recall what triggered the restaurant's downfall initially. A key incident took place which entailed 5 children being reportedly murdered by a man in an empty animatronic suit. With note to the incident featuring 5 children, yet this death minigame only entailing 4, one might wonder where the 5th and final victim of this grisly massacre could be. The answer lies in the last frame. In the centre of the screen sits the 5th child, lifeless and dormant. What follows is a very peculiar jump scare of Golden Freddy. The possibility holds that this 5th child could in fact be responsible for the hallucinations we frequently witness? Could this child be Golden Freddy?
Theory 1. Salvage is the Marionette's newest victim.
This theory stems from one sequence within the Five Nights at Freddy's 3 teaser trailer. The new animatronic seemingly suffers intense body jolts, much alike what can occur during the midst of an exorcism. The overall characteristics of the animatronic seem to be very relatable to negativity also, with his withered appearance and bold white pupils.
In Five Nights at Freddy's 1, Night 4 sees the player witness a similar series of events. The animatronics seemingly twitch violently and converse in a demonic and evil state. More importantly, all of the animatronic's pupils attain a likeable resemblance to that of the newest animatronics, a bold, deep white.
We all now know of the puppet's existence in the Five Nights at Freddy's 1 establishment in one form or another, through the intentional imagery of a crying child that can appear when viewing the East Hall camera.
If the puppet was to be confirmed responsible for the sequence of events that occurred during Night 4 in Five Nights at Freddy's 1, that would leave us all with many answered questions as to why Scott specifically chose to show us as a community the newest animatronic twitching violently and uncontrollably, and end with full intent on the animatronic's white eyes.
Want to see even more content from us?
Consider liking and subscribing to ensure you'll see all content in the foreseeable future.
And hey, why not check out our past 2 videos?